Have you ever looked into a Virgo's eyes and felt something strange? Like they carry a story you'll never fully understand. A story of both strength and sadness. Of control and silent chaos. Why do Virgos always seem so calm, yet so distant? Why do they feel like both a safe place and a locked door? Here's something you probably didn't know: Virgos are not just perfectionists. They're emotional warriors. And behind that quiet face, there's a heart learning every day how to protect itself while still loving the world. Today, we're not talking about basic zodiac facts. We're going deeper into their minds, their emotions, their hidden struggles, and their secret strengths. Because what if I told you that Virgo's way of thinking could help you handle your own fears? That their emotional walls are not walls at all, but doors waiting to be opened? In this video, you'll discover psychological truths hidden inside Virgo's personality. Insights that explain not just their behavior, but also your own. And if you're curious to understand yourself, or someone you care about, this journey is for you. So, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who needs it. Now, are you ready to see the hidden world behind Virgo's silence? Let's begin. Have you ever seen someone quietly lost in a memory? Their eyes soften. Their breathing slows, and for a moment, it's as if they're not even here. That's the Virgo. They carry their past like a secret treasure chest. And sometimes, like a hidden wound. Virgos are nostalgic souls, but not in the ordinary sense. For them, a song, a photograph, even the scent of fresh rain can open doors to moments long gone. But these memories aren't just for comfort. They're lessons. Every memory, every story from their past, becomes a part of their strength. A reason to move forward. And perhaps that's what sets them apart. While most people bury their past, Virgos embrace it. They reflect. They learn. And they grow. You might find them returning to old places, reading the same book again, or holding on to objects that others see as trivial. To Virgo, those are anchors. Emotional reminders that even when life changes, some feelings remain. It's their quiet way of healing. So, if you love a Virgo, don't ask them to forget. Ask them to share. Because within their memories, you'll find the most authentic parts of their heart. Now, imagine trust as a house. Some people build it overnight. Others build it in weeks. But Virgos? They build it like a cathedral. Slowly. Carefully. Brick by brick. You see, for a Virgo, trust isn't something they give easily. And love? That's even rarer. They don't rush. They don't fall just because someone says the right words. They watch. They observe. They wait. And if you're patient enough, if you show up honestly, without games, something beautiful happens. They let you in. Not all at once. Piece by piece. Because Virgos believe that real love grows slowly. They're not interested in temporary highs. They want foundations. Depth. Something real. Maybe you've noticed this in your own relationships. People rush. People move too fast. But not Virgos. Their patience might frustrate you. You might wonder why they're so cautious. But behind that caution is wisdom. They've learned that quick love burns out. That genuine connection needs time to grow roots. And when it does, when a Virgo finally trusts you, their loyalty is unshakable. They become the kind of partner who stays, who supports, who believes in you even when you don't believe in yourself. That's why their love is rare. And why, once you have it, you'll realize it's one of the most stable forms of love you'll ever feel. But let's talk about something deeper. About the dance between passion and stability. At first, Virgo can surprise you. You might expect someone cold, distant. But get close enough, and you'll find warmth, intensity, A quiet passion that pulls you in. In the early stages of a relationship, Virgo gives their heart more than you'd expect. They notice your smallest needs. They listen when others don't. They remember what matters to you. And when you least expect it, they show up in ways that make you feel seen. But over time, something interesting happens. That fire doesn't burn out. It evolves. What started as excitement transforms into security, into calmness, into a quiet certainty that they're here for the long run. Virgos believe love shouldn't stay in the chaos of the beginning. It should become a peaceful home. That's why they're different. Many people fear routine, but Virgos find beauty in it. They believe stability is the highest form of care. Think about it. In a world where everyone chases butterflies, Virgo builds a garden. A space where love can grow, safely and steadily. And while that might sound less exciting, to those who've experienced chaotic relationships, Virgo's steady love feels like a safe harbor. A place to rest. A reason to stay. They don't avoid passion. They balance it. They keep the spark alive without burning the house down. And that is a rare kind of magic. But there's something even more powerful about Virgo. Something people often misunderstand. They are truth speakers. But not out of cruelty. Out of necessity. Virgos see through people. It's not a skill they chose. It's a gift. And sometimes, a curse. They can tell when someone's pretending. They notice the shift in your tone. The hesitation in your words. The mask you wear. And when they confront you, it's not because they want to hurt you. It's because they believe truth is healing. Virgo's honesty can feel sharp, direct, even uncomfortable. But beneath every word is care. They don't tolerate vanity or arrogance. They stand up against ego, not because they're harsh, but because they value authenticity above all. In friendships, in family, in love. Virgo teaches us a lesson many fear to learn, that confrontation can be an act of love. That calling someone out can be the first step towards deeper connection. But here's the beauty in it. Virgos don't just criticize. They offer solutions. They guide you to clarity, to growth, to becoming the person you're meant to be. That's why, even when their honesty stings, people come back to them. People trust them. Because Virgo doesn't just speak the truth. They live it. And in doing so, they inspire those around them to do the same. So, next time a Virgo tells you something hard to hear, listen. Not with your ego, but with your heart. Because in their truth, there's love. And in their honesty, there's the rare gift of someone who truly cares about who you are becoming. Have you ever watched someone stay quiet in a crowded room? Not because they're shy, but because they're thinking, observing, feeling. That's a Virgo. Many people mistake their silence for coldness. But the truth is, silence is their strength. When life feels overwhelming, when emotions run high, Virgos don't explode. They retreat. They pause. They give themselves space to understand. It's not that they don't feel. In fact, they feel deeply. But they know something most people forget: reacting too fast often leads to regret. So they protect themselves by choosing stillness over chaos. This calm exterior makes them seem unshaken, controlled. But inside, there's an entire world of emotion waiting to be understood. You might find them standing near a window, lost in thought. Or choosing to listen when everyone else fights to speak. In those moments, they're not avoiding life. They're mastering it. And maybe, that's something we could all learn. That staying silent doesn't mean being weak. Sometimes, it's the wisest choice you can make. But even the strongest walls can crack. Even Virgo's rational mind can crumble. Especially when emotions hit too hard. Because, ruled by Mercury, they think fast. They analyze. They solve problems like puzzles. But feelings aren't puzzles. You can't fix sadness with logic. You can't explain away heartbreak. And that's where Virgo struggles. They're caught between two worlds. The mind and the heart. One tells them to stay calm. The other begs them to feel. And when those two worlds collide, confusion takes over. That's why Virgos sometimes distance themselves. Why they need space. Not because they don't care, but because they're trying to understand emotions that don't fit inside their carefully built mental frameworks. If you know a Virgo, or if you are one, remember this: emotions are not problems to solve. They're experiences to feel. And sometimes, letting go of control is the only way to heal. It's okay to not have the answers. It's okay to just feel. Now, let's talk about love. Not the easy kind. The complicated kind. The kind that Virgo knows all too well. You see, from the outside, Virgo's relationships might seem distant. Maybe even cold. You might think they're not really in love. But the truth hides beneath their cautious heart. They're scared. Scared to be vulnerable. Scared to trust. Scared that giving too much of themselves will only lead to pain. And can you blame them? Life has probably taught them that not everyone deserves their trust. So they build walls. High, quiet, invisible walls. But those walls are not there to keep people out. They're there to see who's willing to stay. Who's patient enough to wait. Who's gentle enough to knock softly, rather than force their way in. And once Virgo lets someone in, something changes. Their love isn't loud. It's steady. Loyal. Safe. They'll stand by your side in silence when words fail you. They'll remember the things you forgot. They'll protect you, not with grand gestures, but with quiet presence. And yet, the most powerful lesson Virgo teaches us is this: protecting your heart doesn't mean you don't want love. It means you value it so much that you refuse to waste it. And maybe this explains something deeper. Why they're called the perfectionists of the zodiac. Not because they want everything to be flawless, but because they care. Virgos notice details others ignore. A friend's change in tone. A partner's unspoken sadness. A missed promise. It's not that they expect too much. It's that they expect what's real. What's honest. They set high standards because they know settling for less leads to disappointment. And yes, this can make life harder for them. They overthink. They doubt. They push themselves too far sometimes. But beneath this perfectionism is a desire to build a life that feels right. A life that feels meaningful. Whether it's in their work, their friendships, or their personal goals. Virgos give their all. Not to impress. Not to compete. But because their heart tells them, this matters. And maybe that's the part people envy most. Their refusal to accept mediocrity. Their relentless pursuit of something better. Something real. It's easy to judge perfectionists. It's harder to understand them. But once you do, you'll realize their perfectionism isn't about control. It's about love. Love for their work. Love for their people. Love for life itself. And now, as we move forward, prepare yourself. Because the next few insights will reveal not just Virgo's hidden strengths, but also their deepest fears, and the most misunderstood parts of their soul. Stay with me. What comes next might challenge everything you thought you knew about Virgo. Have you ever watched someone face a difficult decision and wondered, how do they stay so calm? How do they know what to choose when everything feels uncertain? That's the quiet power of a Virgo. They're masters of decision-making, but not because life feels easy to them. It's because they pause. They analyze. They see not just what's happening in the moment, but what could happen next. While many people get lost in emotions or rush into choices, Virgo steps back. They study the situation like a map, searching for patterns others miss. This doesn't mean they're cold. It means they care about the outcome. They don't want to hurt anyone. They don't want to regret their choices. That's why they're slow, why they weigh every option, why they sometimes seem distant when making big decisions. But deep down, it's about responsibility. Virgo wants to choose what's best. Not just for themselves, but for everyone involved. If you've ever felt frustrated by their careful ways, remember, that's not hesitation. That's wisdom. And maybe, next time you face a tough choice, ask yourself, what would a Virgo do? But Virgo's power doesn't stop with the mind. There's a side of them many people miss. A gentle strength hidden beneath quiet pride. They don't brag. They don't show off. They simply move through life with quiet dignity. If they hurt someone, they feel it deeply. Not because they're weak, but because fairness and kindness matter to them. You might see a Virgo help someone silently, expecting nothing in return. Or stand by someone's side, even when no one else notices. This is their silent loyalty. Their way of showing love through actions, not words. And yet, they also know when to protect themselves. They won't let others take advantage of their kindness. Their pride keeps them grounded. It's a healthy boundary, reminding them that being gentle doesn't mean letting people walk over you. Virgo teaches us something important here. You can be soft, without being small. You can care, without losing yourself. Maybe you've felt this struggle too. Wanting to help, but fearing you'll give too much. Wanting to love, but fearing you'll lose yourself in the process. Virgo reminds us, it's okay to be both. To be gentle and strong. Kind and proud. And that, perhaps, is one of the most beautiful balances any of us can learn. When it comes to love, Virgo is different from what most people expect. They're not looking for someone perfect. They're searching for something much harder to find, authenticity. True love. Real connection. While many people rush into relationships, chasing excitement or escaping loneliness, Virgo waits. They believe love is too precious to waste. Too important to give to just anyone. That's why they often stay single longer than others. Why they seem guarded. Why they question, observe, and sometimes push people away. Not because they don't want love, but because they want the right kind of love. The kind that feels like home. The kind that grows quietly but lasts forever. If you're with a Virgo, understand this, they chose you carefully. They didn't fall into this relationship by accident. They saw something real in you. Something worth trusting. And once they commit, they're all in. No games. No half promises. Just steady, consistent care. Maybe that's why people envy them. Virgo isn't afraid to be alone. They'd rather wait for something true than settle for something easy. They remind us all that love isn't about filling a space in your life. It's about building something meaningful with someone who sees the real you. And that, in today's world, is a rare and powerful choice. But perhaps one of Virgo's greatest powers is something most people overlook. Their ability to transform negative energy. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed. Maybe you froze. Maybe you let fear stop you. But Virgo? They do something different. When anxiety hits, when stress piles up, when the world feels like too much, they work. They focus. They find something to fix, something to build, something to improve. It's not about ignoring their emotions. It's about channeling them. Turning fear into progress. Turning pain into purpose. Maybe it's cleaning their home. Maybe it's finishing that long-forgotten project. Maybe it's helping someone else who's struggling. Whatever it is, Virgo uses action to heal. This is a lesson we all need. That sometimes, the best way to calm your mind is to move your hands. To take a step forward, even when your heart feels heavy. Virgo shows us that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's just quietly doing what needs to be done, even when you're hurting inside. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. And maybe, when life feels too heavy, that's all we need to remember. And now, are you ready for the most controversial part of Virgo's soul? Because in the final 3 insights, we're about to uncover their most hidden struggles and their most powerful secrets. What comes next might surprise you. Stay with me. Have you ever met someone whose jokes made you laugh, but left you thinking long after? That's Virgo's secret art. They're masters of dark humor. But don't be fooled. It's not just about making people laugh. It's their way of expressing thoughts too deep or too complicated to say directly. When life feels heavy, Virgo doesn't always cry. Sometimes, they joke. Their humor has layers. Beneath every clever punchline hides an observation. A hidden truth. A thought they're not yet ready to say out loud. But why? Because humor feels safer than vulnerability. A joke can cover what the heart can't explain. And that's why people feel both drawn to Virgos and puzzled by them. You might laugh at their comment, only to realize later they were telling you something real. Something important. It's not cruelty. It's protection. A way to soften the truth before giving it to the world. So next time you hear a Virgo's dark joke, pause. Listen deeper. Ask yourself, what are they trying to say without saying it? Their humor hides their heart. But their work shows it. Virgos work harder than anyone you know. Not for praise. Not for competition. But because work gives them purpose. It gives them control in a world that often feels chaotic. You'll see it in small things. The colleague who stays late. Not because they're asked, but because they care. The friend who plans every detail of a trip, not to impress you, but to make sure everyone feels safe and cared for. Virgo's work is an act of love. And when they work, they give all of themselves. No detail is too small. No task is beneath them. They want to get it right. Because getting it right means giving others their best. It means honoring the trust people place in them. This is why people respect Virgo. Not because they're perfect. But because they show up. Because they finish what they start. Because they care, quietly, steadily, without needing the world to notice. And maybe that's the lesson we're missing. That true dedication isn't loud. It's silent. It's patient. And it's full of heart. But Virgo's strength isn't only in big achievements. It's in small, sincere moments. They notice the little things. A kind word. A simple thank you. A small act done from the heart. While others chase grand gestures, Virgo finds beauty in what's genuine. Maybe it's someone remembering their favorite tea. Maybe it's a handwritten note. Maybe it's just sitting together in silence, knowing no words are needed. Virgos treasure these moments. They hold them close. Because to them, sincerity is priceless. In a world that often values appearances, Virgo reminds us of something important. Real connection isn't found in expensive gifts or dramatic words. It's found in small, quiet gestures that speak directly to the soul. And when you offer a Virgo something heartfelt, no matter how small, they'll never forget it. Their gratitude runs deep. And it teaches us a simple truth: sometimes, the smallest things are the most meaningful. But there's something Virgo hides better than anything else. Their jealousy. Yes, even Virgos feel it. But they'll never show you. They're masters at hiding jealousy behind calm smiles and composed words. While others lash out, Virgo pulls back. They keep it inside. They pretend it doesn't exist. But the truth is, they feel it. Just like everyone else. They feel the sting when they're overlooked. When someone else gets what they longed for. when love feels distant. But here's what makes them different. They refuse to let jealousy control them. They believe emotions should serve growth, not destruction. So instead of reacting, Virgo reflects. They ask themselves why they're feeling this way, what this jealousy is trying to teach them. They turn envy into self-discipline, into motivation, into quiet resolve to do better. And that's why people rarely see Virgo's struggles. Because they handle them silently, gracefully, alone. It's not always healthy, but it's their way of protecting both themselves and those they love. Perhaps the hardest lesson Virgo teaches us is that composure doesn't mean peace. It means effort. It means constant inner work. It means choosing dignity, even when the heart feels like breaking. So, if you know a Virgo who seems distant, who seems cold, maybe they're just protecting their heart the only way they know how. Respect their silence. And offer them the one thing they struggle to ask for, understanding. And now, we are reaching the final part of Virgo's story. 3 truths remain. 3 final insights that reveal not just who Virgo is, but why they are one of the most envied and misunderstood souls in the entire zodiac. Stay with me. What comes next will challenge everything you thought you knew. Have you ever watched someone walk into a room and say nothing, yet somehow know exactly what's happening beneath the surface? That's Virgo's gift. Their intuition is quiet but powerful. They don't need loud signals. They catch the smallest shifts, the way someone's tone changes, how their eyes avoid a certain glance, or how their words don't match their actions. It's like they have a sixth sense. A silent radar always scanning the room. Not because they're suspicious, but because they care about truth. They want to protect themselves. And they want to protect you. Most people think intuition is magic. Something mysterious. But for Virgo, it's built from observation. From analyzing. From paying attention. And this is why they're so hard to deceive. While others hear what you say, Virgo listens to what you don't. While others watch your actions, Virgo notices the hesitation before the action. It's not about judgment. It's about clarity. Virgo wants honesty. Not just from others, but from life itself. This is why they walk away from people who lie, even if it hurts. They'd rather face the truth alone than live inside a comfortable lie. And that's something we can all learn. To trust our instincts. To believe in what our heart whispers before our mind shouts over it. Because intuition is the soul's quiet wisdom. And Virgo listens. But nowhere is Virgo's desire for perfection more visible than in love. Not in the way you might expect. It's not about controlling the relationship. It's not about changing their partner. It's about building something beautiful. Something lasting. Something real. Virgos believe love should be tended to, like a garden. You water it. You care for it. You notice when something isn't right and you fix it before it breaks. Their perfectionism isn't about expecting flawlessness. It's about giving their best. Always. They want their partner to feel safe. To feel supported. To feel chosen every single day. Maybe you've been loved by a Virgo. And maybe you wondered why they notice every detail, why they ask so many questions, why they plan so much. It's not control. It's love, in its purest form. It's their way of saying, you matter enough for me to try this hard. And that's why Virgo's love feels different. Because it's not built on passion alone. It's built on intention. On effort. On quiet promises that last longer than words. But here's the part many people miss. Loving like this is exhausting. Virgo gives so much. Tries so hard. Holds themselves to impossible standards. Not because anyone asks them to, but because their heart does. And sometimes, they break under the pressure they place upon themselves. So, if you love a Virgo, remind them, they don't have to be perfect to be loved. Sometimes, just being present is enough. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, maybe you're starting to see Virgo differently. Not as the cold perfectionist, but as the quiet protector. The observer. The one who loves silently and heals privately. Virgo's greatest strength isn't their mind. It's their heart. A heart that craves honesty. A heart that values simplicity. A heart that works quietly behind the scenes to make the world feel just a little safer for the people they love. So what does this mean for you? Maybe you're a Virgo. Maybe you love one. Or maybe you just see a piece of yourself in their story. Either way, remember this: being thoughtful, cautious, and careful is not weakness. It's wisdom. And being loyal, observant, and quietly protective is not coldness. It's a rare kind of love. One the world needs more of. If you saw yourself in today's video, or someone you care about, don't forget to subscribe. Share this video with someone who needs to understand the Virgo in their life. Or maybe, the Virgo inside themselves. Because this is just one story. One sign. And the universe? It holds many more. I hope you'll join me in the next video, where we'll keep exploring the hidden stories, not just in the stars, but in our hearts. Until then, take care of yourself. And remember, even the quietest souls carry the loudest love.